Jimmy Buckets! Clutch time!
Tyler Hero, what a finisher he's become.
Lane, Oladipo, oh! That's right, you better mean mug after you dunk on somebody that way.
Gonna run it down, he goes with it. Adebayo for the win!
Yerp! Welcome to the fucking post-game show. I'm your host, Royal A. Shepherd, and I'm joined today by Jonathan Ramlakan, joined by fucking Gadiel Cartagena, and these motherfucking three beautiful canes on this bitch, Kendall, Threat, and Brian. We lost to the fucking 76ers without Joel Embiid or James Harden because nobody decided that they wanted to play fucking defense. Ah! Daniel Cartagena, your name encapsulates what we saw tonight perfectly. Pathetic. Tell me what you thought on tonight's game, bro.
Pathetic. I want to give credit to Jimmy Butler, who actually I thought played a good game tonight, but the problem is it didn't really matter. I think you're seeing, and this, I know it might sound like an overreaction, but this is really what I feel about this team is there's such an over-reliance on the bench from this team. Like, you need the bench to pop off on any given night, and they have the depth to do so, so it's not the craziest strategy to have. But if the bench plays even remotely poorly, you're not winning a game. Like, as good as the three even played tonight, like Kyle, Jimmy, and Bam, I thought they played solid games. It's just nobody else did anything outside of that. They're so dependent on everybody else off the bench. They didn't get anything tonight. PJ Tucker, Philly's not guarding him. Duncan, I didn't really think he did anything outside of the first 3 minutes of the game tonight. Tyler was getting absolutely cooked. I know he got his 14 points or whatever it may be, but he gave up 35 points on the other end, and that's being very generous to him. Strus was non-existent. There was moments where it felt like he was hijacking the offense. Markieff Morris, I'm not going to hold him for too much, but his defense was really, really poor. The energy was just terrible. They took this game for granted. You tell me which team you saw tonight. Which team do you think had 2 games in the last 8 days, and which team do you think played a game last night? Because it damn sure didn't look the way that it was supposed to. It's a piss-poor effort against a team that they absolutely should have beaten by double digits or whatever. I think they're going to be okay, but like, there's absolutely reason to be concerned right now because you didn't even have the matchup issue that is Joel Embiid and James Harden who can make all the other players better. This is an embarrassing loss. There's no other way to put it.
I think some people said it. Like, it's like Philly's offense plays a little bit better without Joel Embiid and James Harden. Not to say that they're a better team, but like the ball moves, people move. And I'm with you. I don't care. We still should have won this game. Thank you, James Todd, for the $9.99 dono. He said, excuse me. He said, but we're the 1 seed. 1 don't mean shit. If you play like this, you will get bounced in the first round, and Hero and Robinson are targeted early and often. No positives tonight. Listen, I kind of want to get to that conversation. That's one of the conversations that they had on 5 on the Floor that I want to have here. And that is our team's like really not worried about Miami being the 1 seed. And just kind of like, if we fall there, then we'll just play them. You know what I mean? Like teams like Brooklyn, those teams in that bottom tier, like is Miami looking like one of those fraudulent 1 seeds to them? But we're going to get to that question next. We're going to talk about it.
Don't let me cook, man.
Hey, man. Hey, your name says it all.
Threat's blowing off the little cassette that he has to put into the Game Boy Advance right now because he's about to go crazy.
You throwing me a lob. You throwing me a lob off the glass, and I'm really trying not to windmill that bitch right now.
Hey, go for it. It is
game breaker.
Hey, man. What do I start? What do I start with the question being asked? Do I start with the game? Where do you want me to start it?
Start with the game, and then we'll get around to that question.
For me, though, this game is what it is. What we seen tonight is what we seen all season, man. In the first half, Duncan Robinson was targeted. over and over and over again repeatedly. We seen him get snapped on by Kyle Lowry. We seen him get snapped on by I forgot who else snapped on him. But Duncan Robinson didn't hit a shot. Max Strus couldn't get going. We had no shooters tonight. Tyler Hero was atrocious. This was one of the worst games I've seen from Tyler Hero in a very long time. He was targeted. You know what I'm saying? Like a black man in a Chinese store, dog. It was that bad, dog. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. This is a game. Every once in a while, you're gonna have games like this where you come up short against these type of teams that you should be. I mean, it is what it is. When was the last time we put up a pathetic effort like this against a bad team? Yeah, I mean, you're just gonna have that in the 82 game.
When we play any other team that's below 500,
you're gonna have those games in the 82 game season. For me, the writing has been on the wall for a lot of things, and it just is what it is. That's all I really got to say about that, man. Shout out to Bam getting going. Jimmy had a decent game, and everybody else pretty mid. But we'll get into more stuff later. Let me warm up.
Yeah, shout out to Bam getting going and them absolutely forgetting that he was on the goddamn court. Thank you, the unidentified celebrity review, for the $10 dono. He said, "Yo, I haven't been able to watch the game in 3 weeks because of work. How is my bum doing?" Well, if you must know, he went 2 for 6 tonight, all from 3.
The question answers itself.
Yeah, it does. Kang Brian, go ahead and give me your thoughts on tonight's game, bro.
My thought was that we drafted African Joel Anthony over Tyrese Maxey.
Whoa! You're talking about the player who just beat Joel Embiid just last night? Is that the same guy we're talking about?
Sure.
Because we could have used either one of them tonight.
Let's not discredit Joel Anthony. If we had Tyrese Maxey, Tyler Hero, and Bam Adebayo right now, like, man, that's our future right there. But yeah, everybody basically played like shit outside of Jimmy. I mean, and even Jimmy, like, despite the fact that he had really good numbers, I felt like there are multiple wasted possessions where he was taking ill-advised threes, couldn't guard anybody. The offense from guys that you expect the offense to come from wasn't really there. Like Gad mentioned, they do rely on their bench really, really heavily, and when Tyler doesn't have it, you're kind of looking around like, who else is going to get us going? Just an awful game, but I feel like this is one of those games where you kind of go into it. You look at Joel Embiid being out, you look at Harden being out, and you're like, yeah, they're going to play down, right? Because we've seen it over and over and over again. So, like I said, it is what it is. Like, it's one loss. It's still the 1 seed. They're still probably the best team in the East. So I can't be too mad, but at the same time, it's like, fuck, bro. That's terrible.
I mean, when you think about the bench, Caleb did great.
Sure.
Just like my girl Heather Cloud said, Caleb did great.
Let me just say this about Caleb. When he gets the ball and he's headed downhill, he's not passing the ball. 100%.
Why would he?
Yeah, with good reason.
Thank you, SRT Dre, for the $199. Don't know. He said we need another bubble. Listen, the way motherfuckers thinking about COVID, we might get one sooner or later. Ramacon, give me your thoughts on the game.
We let Philadelphia stay too close for too long. Like, this was one of those games where we just played with our food, and Tyler wasn't taking the best of shots early in the game. Like you guys said, Jimmy had a good game, but I just didn't really feel his impact. Like, there were just times, like, I just didn't feel like he was impactful, and I felt like a lot of it was just because it was, a lot of free throws, and free throws not coming, like, necessarily to stop a play. We had that 10-0 run, I want to say, in the third quarter to kind of flip things, or the second quarter, but after that, the Heat's offense was pretty stagnant, and I mean, the fourth quarter, you guys want to talk about targeting, Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero showed up tonight, and he was letting everybody go past him. Like, absolutely, like, he was getting cooked. Like, no better way to put it. He was, every single time that Philadelphia got the ball, they were waiting. They were waiting because they knew the Heat's zone defense was just going to switch till they got Tyler Hero. And if Tyler Hero didn't switch, all right, Tobias is getting the ball instead. They were taking turns. It was Maxey, Shake Milton, and Tobias Harris just taking turns on turns Tyler Hero. So,
that boy was a thought out there. You hear me?
Telling you, everybody gets thought.
Like Brian said in one of our chats, getting passed around like a $20 hoe. But yeah, it was great, man. It was great. I have to give you credit there. It was it was an awful, pathetic effort. The Heat just didn't want to close out. We were giving guys like Korkmaz open threes. Just they were letting them hang around for too long. And at the end of the game, they had enough confidence to allow themselves to make the win. And the Heat need to pick up stuff like this. When it comes down to it, we had our best players. They didn't. We should have fucking won this game.
Yep. Korkmaz, Yang, all them boys was getting in on the action. I think Korkmaz had 18, Yang had 15. They definitely did. K. Kendall, go ahead.
Closing time, you know what I'm saying? Closing time. Hey, Philly went on a 15-7 run as soon as Jimmy Butler came in that game.
Let's talk about it.
Shout out to Tim A. He said this offense finna get stagnant.
What did it turn into? What did it turn into?
ISO ball, Jimmy.
ISO ball. Hey,
and Kyle pull-ups. That's how they want to win. That's how they want to win, Kendall.
Let me just say this before you go out, Kendall.
Go ahead, bro.
Jimmy came in 427. The 2 plays before that, we saw back-to-back plays.
Back-to-back
plays. Hero to Bam. I seen Tim A. right in that chat. Oh God, the offense gonna get stagnant when Jimmy come in.
Shout out to Tim A, man. Shout out to
Go
that.
Go ahead, cook up though, brother. My bad.
Nah, you cool, bro. But I was gonna get to that, man. I mean, hey, Tyler Bam pick and roll since the fucking All-Star break. Their chemistry has grown. We got to get to a point where that's what we're gonna have to lean into. Because, like, people want Bam to be the scorer. Like, Bam is effective when he's working with someone who can score at 3 levels. Because it gives his guy something to think about, like, off the pick and roll. Like, when it's Jimmy with that ball, like, Bam his shoulders drop and he just fade away. Because he knows that him and Jimmy control the same area on the floor. And it just, they just don't have this chemistry together. And I just thought, I put it in our chat, I was like, I thought it should have been Bam pick and rolls and Bam post-ups to end the game. Like, it was Paul Millsap and DeAndre Jordan. But like Gas said, we want to run Kyle Lowry pull-ups and Jimmy Butler ISOs. In closing time, man, it's a factor. It's a sore spot on this team. Like I said it, like when everybody got back healthy, that we were gonna be able to have I think we were gonna have to iron out those wrinkles into going into the playoffs, but I haven't really seen it ironed out on the level where I feel confident in this team at all. Like, I'm not counting against Detroit because it's Detroit. Like, and to do that against Philly, man, like with no Joel Embiid and no James Harden, it's like, yo, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, so Ken, I'm gonna kick this question right back to you, and we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Thank you somebody for the $5 dono. He said 76ers tried to give the game away, sitting Harden and Embiid. Yet the sorry Heat got beat by Furkan Kumas or whatever the fuck that nigga name is. In the bench unit. What the fuck, man? How do you lose, bro? Easy. Because you play piss poor effort on defense. Thank you, SRT Dre, for the $1.99 dono. Said, imagine how bad Jimmy gonna be in 2023. Sheesh. Nah, but let's get into the
contract. That's only next year.
Yeah.
That contract goes to 2025.
Man, y'all better buckle up. Let's get into it, though, because they were talking about it. Like, a lot of these teams that we're talking about that we're over in the standings have guys, takeover type offensive guys that they can rely on for a steady offense. And it's like a lot of teams looking at Miami is like, they don't have that guy. We don't have that guy.
No, Tyler Hero's had moments this year where he's been that guy. I'll give him that.
We have guys who have that guy moments. We don't have that guy. And that's what I believe in Tyler Hero. Like, so Kendall, should Heat fans be worried about teams potentially targeting them for like early round matchups because a team like Brooklyn could see us and they have 2 of those guys and we could be like fodder in the first round?
Of course not, bro. We're the 1 seed.
Oh, okay.
Should Heat fans be worried? Absolutely. I mean, we don't have one of them guys. We don't have one of them ones. And it is what it is. Like, you cannot grit and grind your way to a championship. And that's the way we're going to have to do it. And I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, there's no one that really puts fear in the heart of, like, defenses. Like, it's like, they're a chain, man. I said it. They're a chain. You can't, if one link in that chain break, Like if it's early on, if it's Duncan and he off, that offense gonna look bad. If if Duncan cooking, you know what I'm saying, and it's an even game, you gotta lead. But if Tyler come in and he ain't going to work, the other team gonna catch up because it's just like I think come playoff time, them lights gonna get brighter. And like, yeah, our bench has been good, but like even with Victor Oladipo, I done been 10 toes down. Like I got no faith in him. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we depending on Max Strus to go off. Like Max Strus saved us against Detroit. Or we looking at a bad loss there. It's just like, yeah, that works in the regular season. Like we're a regular season built team. But honestly, I think teams like definitely Milwaukee, they probably just keying at us. Because they probably see 2014 Indiana Pacers tight beat.
Yep.
I'll run that back. You know what I'm saying?
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now too.
That's the comparison that's being made though.
Bro, because it's like Jimmy Butler, okay, cool. Just how you used to look at Paul George and be like, okay, Paul George, cool. But I got LeBron. They got Giannis. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn, like, we got KD. And we ain't even finna talk about them new boys from, up north who dangerously looming out here in Boston.
And Philly saying they got Joel Embiid. Like,
yeah. Well, I'm still not scared of Philly in a playoff series. I won't lie to you.
I think out of all these teams, Philly probably lines up the best as a matchup for us because of how stagnant their offense can get. If we can key in on one person in terms of how our defense plays, then we can do really well against that team, which is why we have so much success against Philly. Those other teams, though,
they got two of them.
Well, they have multiple triggers to elite players. Like that is going to be the problem. So I want to thank Jason Adebole for the $4.99 dono. Oh, wait, I got some more donos before that, right, Ramakan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me see those right quick. Thank you, Sweatback Mir, for the $1.99 dono. He said, Jimmy, 3 from 3. He limits everything. I didn't understand a couple of them shots. But it's Jimmy. He can do what he wants, apparently. Thank you, somebody, for the $2 dono. He said, is Deadman now Deadman walking? Bench buddy with UD. That was one of the things that we noticed, and it's been a trend. Markieff Morris coming in the game instead of Deadman, so I'll toss this one to Brian. Brian, anything significant there? Do you think that Deadman has been permanently replaced, or this is just something that Spo's doing for now, and we'll see Deadman later on down the line?
No, I think we'll see Deadman later on down the line. Like, Deadman he's older, so you probably want to try to get him some rest. You want to try to get Markieff some reps before you get into the playoffs. But as far as in a playoff series, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of either of them. It's probably going to be matchup dependent. So I'm not super worried about Deadman or Markieff. It's not like either of them are going to have a massive impact on this team either way. It's negligible. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, even tonight between the two of them, they played 12 minutes. And Deadman didn't get in at all. So we want to thank, who was that with the $4.99 dono? I think it was Jason Adebole.
Yep.
Thank you, Jason Adebole, for the $4.99 dono. He said, I don't know why Heat fans are tripping. If I was a fan of any of the Eastern contenders, I wouldn't be scared of this Heat team too. Look, that's what we're saying. Like, and that's the conversation that we're having right now. Gad, do you think that other Eastern teams are justified for not being afraid of this Heat team? Because it doesn't look like they are.
No, absolutely not. I'm not saying that the Heat aren't a team that can't win one of those series against those good teams. They absolutely can. Like, I still think it's an open race between, I'll say 3, maybe 4 teams. You can consider Philly in that mix and make it 5. I'm higher on the Nets than most people. I can't lie.
So who's the 4? Oh, Boston.
Yeah, Boston for sure. Like that team, they have their flaws. Don't get me wrong. Like they have moments where they will take 20 jump shots in one quarter for absolutely no reason, and there's moments where their offense mucks up. Like a good defense can beat Boston. I will stand on that, but. No, like the Heat will never have the best player in a series, which I'm a big believer. That is one of the biggest equalizers in basketball. That's what you see at the top of most of these championship teams is if you have the best player, you will be in that series. Now, you need to have a good team, but the better players also have a really good team with them. So, yeah, I don't think it's impossible for the Heat to beat any of these teams. I don't think it's crazy to think that the Heat can lose to any of these teams too. So, they're in the mix, but it's dicey. Like, I'm not looking at Miami and fearing them the same. The only team that I really think anyone is fearing right now is maybe Milwaukee. Boston is playing really, really well, but like I think water will reach its level with them. They're a damn good team. Don't get me wrong. I think they're equal with Miami. It'd be one hell of a series, but I don't think they're this world beater that they've been made out to be over the last, say, like month and a half because they've been playing unbelievable basketball.
Yeah. Want to thank James Todd for the $5 dono. He said, I know y'all have talked about it before, but our first round matchup could be the Nets, Raptors, or Cavs. Shit about to be rough with the offense we have. I think, look, the Nets are a really good team. I do think we have our advantages there. I'm not afraid to play the Cavs in the first round. I think if I had to rank them, I'd rather play. I think I'd play the Cavs, then the Raptors, then the Nets, in that order because the Raptors are good, but I think the Heat could beat them. Threat, I'm finna set you up for failure, bro. Are the Heat a fraudulent 1 seed, bro?
Oh Lord. Hey, all right, check me out. I want to make sure that this is said before anybody jumps on my head
I
or
set him up for
anything.
failure.
Nah, listen. Since day one, I've been telling y'all, man. I don't care about no 1 seed, no none of that. This is not a championship team, and y'all can run the tape back and go months back. Months back, I've been saying this since day uno, and I'm gonna tell you why. If you look at the East and you look at the West, we are the only team whose closers come into the game, and we are not confident. We are not confident at all. People are actually panicking now when our closers are coming to the game. How can you be nervous when your stars who are supposed to bring you home? How could you be nervous when in that situation? How could you not have faith in your guys to win you a game in the closing moments? And that's why I'm not high on this team. And this is why I don't want people to think I'm overreacting because this is how I've been stepping since day one. We have no closers, and I keep saying it over and over and over again. Like this team ceiling to me is the Eastern Conference Finals. So, I mean, my issue is, and I hate to say it, my issue is Jimmy Butler. And I'm gonna just say it now because the development that we're seeing between Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo is ascending at a very high level in a very high rate. I think those two have chemistry, and we need to build upon that chemistry that those two have. And that's the only reason,
bro. Like,
what do you mean?
This late in the season, like, can we honestly expect to go further switching the offense to being Bam Tyler centric after playing this way this long?
To be fair, I don't know. To be fair, I don't know.
I would try it. I mean, they tried to do it in the bubble with Goran, and they put him in the lineup and let him be the.
So is this a start Tyler conversation, or is it who's?
It can be. It can be. But
I
think about tonight.
I think there are multiple layers to this. So this is either start Tyler or when Tyler's in the game, the ball is in Tyler's hands. Like no matter who's on the court with him, because like that's
to me, you got to start him, bro. It's like if you want Bam to be a scorer, put another scorer on the court so he can do his thing and Bam can get to his spots. Like I hate seeing the game open and we running like 3-4 fucking dribble handoffs with Duncan Robinson, bro.
Oh
like
God.
That shit is annoying at this point.
And
like
predictable.
we done done that for 3 years in a row, bro. Like pack that shit up.
Ramlakan hit the nail on the head. Shit is predictable. Threat, I want to let Threat finish off his point because I didn't let him get a chance to get through it before I started interrupting. My bad, bro. But go ahead.
No. Just the last thing I want to say. Tyler could be thrown into the starting mix. It doesn't matter if he's starting or coming off the bench this season because at the end of the day, the Heat are going to keep the game close and it's still going to come down to the final moments of the game. And in the final moments of the game, it doesn't fucking matter what anybody's doing. Jimmy Butler is going to post up. Bam is going to hang around the rim. We're going to have two guys in the corner, and we're just going to wait and sit around. And Bam is going to have poor energy because he knows he's not getting a rock unless it's a missed Jimmy shot. Tyler Hero is going to probably try to do too much. I mean, it's just so fucking flawed, man. It's so flawed, bro. And I want to see it play out. The only reason why I have them even going to the Eastern Conference Finals is because I have Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero ascending their game and going to another level that we haven't seen before. And it's not because of the other guys. Because even in that bubble run, we got to keep it G. Goran Dragic was the leading scorer in that bubble run. A lot of people want to give Jimmy a lot of props for that bubble run. Goran was on his shit. And now we about to see who's really going to
do it this year.
That's what we going to need because it ain't going to be Jimmy.
I want to make something very clear to people who are watching, just in case they missed it. Even though that Threat is being critical, saying that this is not a championship team, he still just sat there and told y'all that he believes that they can go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like that's something that you need to know. Like when we're having this conversation, we're not saying that the Heat aren't one of the contenders in the Eastern Conference.
Oh, they absolutely are.
We're saying that there is an avenue to them being beaten early in the playoffs. And we can see it happen repeatedly in tough games. So I want to get a couple of these comments before I get to some sponsors and let Ramakan jump in on this. You got to go up one more than that. We got Happy Jack up here who we missed. Thank you, Happy Jack _24 for the $2 dono. He said, if we play the Nets first round, it's going to be a problem. You damn Skippy is going to be a goddamn problem because Kyrie Irving get to play 4 games now that Ron DeSantis is our governor, so you don't need to be vaccinated, have a mask. You're in shit down here. Thank you, somebody, for the $5 dono. He said, I don't want to see Jimmy jack up one more brick 3 this season. Dude is shooting 19% from 3. That's got to be the worst in the league. Tell him to stop. Nobody's going to tell Jimmy Butler not to do what he wants to do. It's just the reality. Thank you, Kachi and Chisholm, for the $1.99 dono. He said, Threat is team 19 and 15, baby. That shit died so long ago, boy. Thank you, Sweat Bad Mirror, for the $4.99 dono. He said, 100% agree, Threat. It's not an overreaction. We've seen this team come up short in the clutch over and over. Yes, we the fuck ass have. Did I get all the donos, Ramakan? Nope. Thank you, Jason Alabuale, for the $4.99 dono. He said, I see the disgust in your eyes, Threat. I feel you, bro. I feel the same way right now. No, for sure, bro. For sure. Ramakan, I want to throw it to you. What are some realistic warts that people should be worried about when they see this Heat team in the playoffs? Like what are some of the things that people should be looking out for that they may have overlooked throughout the course of this season?
Like good things that other teams should be worried about?
No. Like bad things for the Heat. Like we're on the concept of the Heat being like essentially fraudulent number 1 seeds. So why is that the case? Why can other teams look at Miami and see food?
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, the decline of PJ Tucker is one of those things that we kind of got to talk about. Like his 3-point percentage is kind of
Kendall called that out months ago.
I'm gonna leave it as it is because I'm not going to try to give any much. But when you don't have somebody next to Bam who's hitting those shots, not going to name anybody, but when you don't have somebody next to him hitting those 3-point shots, then it makes it a lot harder for him. And we saw that tonight that they're going to play off him a little bit more if he's not going to hit that. And he has a really good short roll hook, like a little baby hook that in the a little floater, but. That's pretty much the scope of his offensive game. The second thing is that Bam is too readily, wants to switch out too much. And we see all the time when he switches out. I mean, this has been a theme for years. We don't have anybody on the inside rebounding the ball. And sure, PJ Tucker has been helping with that. But again, the legs aren't there anymore, and he's not doing quite as much to rebound the ball. Tyler Hero used to be a phenomenal rebounder. Now, he is still a good rebounder, but he's not skying for those rebounds like he was in his rookie and sophomore season. I felt like he's kind of laid off that a little bit more, trying to save his legs for the offensive end, which makes sense, but he's not doing that quite as much anymore. And you guys alluded to it, guy. I feel like if Tyler Hero isn't having a good game, are we really going to win? Do we win? He has to have a good game for us to win.
What'd you say, Brian?
I said they're fucked. If Tyler isn't having a good game, they are fucked.
Roy, when you asked Jonathan, one of the things that you're worried about going into the playoffs, the first thing that came to my mind was if a coach decides as soon as 14 come in the game, I'm blitzing him and trapping him off anything with a screen and forcing the ball out of his hands. Hey,
look, man. Look, you stop Tyler Hero, then you essentially shut down the bench. Christian Cardus, I did not skip Brian. I went to Brian earlier in the conversation, and Jonathan Rumlicon was the next longest person to have spoken. So I went to Jonathan Rumlicon with that question. Bro, believe me, big dog, you try hosting, bro. You know how hard this shit is, bro, but I got it, bro. I'm the best, okay? Don't worry about this. So, Brian, I do kind of want to come to you to this conversation because it's one that we kind of hinted at, but I want to get into it. The Tyler Hero Bam combination versus the Jimmy Butler Kyle Lowry combination. Is it time for the old geezers to kind of let go and just give the kids the ball and let them rock, and then you guys become complimentary players to them?
Yes. Won't happen though. There's no chance in hell. Jimmy Butler, especially at 32, he still got 3 years left on his deal. You didn't give a fuck about Tyler Hero or Bam Adebayo. Let's be real. Like, as much as he likes those guys, I'm sure, like, in a playoff game, when it's close and he's trying to win a championship, he's gonna trust him. He's gonna trust himself, right? I think that Tyler Hero is probably gonna get a lot of those reps still, so he might just force himself in that conversation, just off of the confidence, off of the fact that he's been really good, and you know he is essentially their number one option outside of Jimmy. But we know that I don't think Bam has a personality to like make that change to like, you know, take that, I guess, like alpha spot from either Kyle or Jimmy. Like I just don't see it.
But I think Tyler does though. I think Tyler.
I'm saying Bam doesn't.
But Bam becomes better by extension of Tyler having the reins to the offense.
Oh sure, okay. But then we're saying like, is Tyler going to start next to Bam? Which I don't think is going to happen. At least not this season, not this playoffs. Yeah, so I think that like Thread has been saying, like that is probably the best option. Like you mentioned, Ro, like when Tyler's on the court with Bam, Bam looks so much better, man. Because it's not, you know, Tyler actually makes an effort to get Bam the ball in spots where he can be successful, but taking the responsibility of Bam having to like look out for guys like Max and Duncan, it opens him up to do so much more. Like you see it every time he gets the ball, you know, he's thinking like he holds the ball 5 seconds, like where's Duncan at? You know, where's PJ at? Where are all these guys at? Because he has to be the hub of the offense. But when you have Tyler on the court, he doesn't really have that responsibility. He can focus on being a scorer. So I think that it's the best option, but I don't see it. Not until Jimmy's in that last year of his contract, the Kyle is out, because you know these guys are stars. They've been all NBA, all stars, you know, whatever. They got an ego too. They got big contracts. They feel like they got to live that out. So this is what we're gonna have to live with for a while.
Jesus Christ.
I just want to jump in real quick. I see some people in the comments talking about Victor Oladipo, closer. Victor Oladipo's averaging 5.5 points a game, shooting 22% from three. What are we fucking talking about, man? Stop playing yourself, man. You want to know how to stop the Heat? Look at 1940s basketball where they dribbling like Stanley from The Office, one hand just like that, and you go all the way to early 2000s basketball. We're the only team in 2022 playing two centers. One is 6'9", one is 6'7".
The other one's 6'5" too. Don't get it twisted. The other one's 6'5".
We playing three centers on offense. Right now. Like that's how you want to know how to stop the Heat. Watch any of that shit. We got bullshit on the floor right now, dog. Like stop the bullshit. Like, what are we talking about right now?
Yo, real shit. Like, the Sixers legitimately played a 2-3 zone on us like the game before this when they had that offense. Dog. Bro. I want to thank Kachi and Chisholm for the 199. Don't know. He said, I agree with Royal A. Shepherd, just like I agree with Kachi and Chisholm. I don't even know what he's talking about. Thank you, Jason Adebale, for the 199. Don't know. He said, y'all see the Sixers score 40 straight points on Hero? Yes, I did. But, I mean, look. Tyler Hero is an easy target tonight, both literally and figuratively. But like it was just he wasn't the reason that nobody lost this game. Maybe he was, because without Tyler, we don't have a fucking bench. Like that's a crazy statement, bro. Gat, it's time for Jimmy and them to give up the keys, bro.
I mean, define give up the keys. My thing is, like, if you want, you just need Jimmy to be better, which I honestly thought he was better tonight offensively. I know the end of the game was ugly, and part of that is on everybody. Like, I understand Jimmy always wants to do what he's always done for his entire career, the post-ups, the back-downs, whatever it may be. It's not pretty offense, right? But you have the point guard who's supposed to organize everything, who's supposed to make sure that Tyler's getting fed, Bam's getting fed, Jimmy's getting fed. The offense is not organized late in games. The offense looks like two best friends that want to do what they want to do late in the game. That's my thing. You can't have Bam, Tyler, and whoever the hell else the other guy is on the floor just not touch the ball. You can't have them not active, right? But if you take the ball out of Jimmy's hands, then what is he really bringing for you offensively? Like, that's the question. That's why the Jimmy and Bam fit has always been so clunky. And then you add in the fact that, like, a PJ Tucker is giving you nothing offensively. Like, there's obviously cause for concern. I don't necessarily know if it's time to take away the keys from Jimmy. I think Jimmy can still give you a lot offensively. Like, he's the only guy getting to the line. He's one of the only guys that breaks down the defense off the dribble. He might be one of two players that does that on this team, because Kyle's not doing it. It's Tyler. It's Jimmy. I think the problem is there's just too much Jimmy late in games. You have to go to the people involved. Now, is that on Spo? Is that on Jimmy? Is that on Kyle? Is that on Bam? Everybody, all parties involved. People have to make an effort to make it a team game, because if you turn it into superstar hero ball, the Miami Heat will lose that battle. I'll say 9 out of 10 times, because we've known this though. Like, this is the talent deficit that they're gonna have at the top, but their strength comes in numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5, in my opinion. The problem is they don't activate that. They don't use that to their advantage. They still want to try to do this superhero ball, and this superhero ball is going to make you struggle in round 1, make it really close to losing, and I don't know if you make it past round 2 if you're playing this superhero ball.
You won't, motherfucker. I can tell you that for a fact. You won't. You won't get your ass out of there alive. People don't really realize how, like, the Eastern Conference is going to be a fucking bloodbath this year. Mm-hmm. Like, it's going to be a bloodbath. There are legit, like they were talking about, there are around 5 teams that all can make a argument for being the best team in the Eastern Conference come playoff time. Thank you, somebody, for the $2 donut. He said, from Struce's loose to Struce drop the deuce. Look, man, that kind of goes to Gad's earlier point where you were you're relying on all these bit players to do their part in order for you. Like, it's all parts of a whole, and if all parts don't work, then the whole don't work, which is.
Let me ask y'all something. How y'all felt about Morris at the 5 today? Like,
Kelly,
how y'all feel about him at that 5?
Kelly, Morris at the 5,
bro. I don't want to see Markieff Morris play not another minute. I mean, it
took 3 games,
bro. I was at the OKC game. I mean, the Detroit game, and I was just like, nah, bro. I don't feel it. Like,
but I mean, he playing. What the other option is Deadman.
Oh, and that man, it's a dead man. Them no. It's tough out there, man. Hey, extend Bam minutes, man. Fuck it. Play Bam 36, 37 minutes.
Oh, it's going to be 40 in the playoffs.
Well, I know that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but like Gad said, what Gad was just saying, man, that man went on a long soliloquy to call this Heat team a fraudulent 1 seed. Like,
I'm going to dress it up. I'm going to put flowers on it.
The whole time, I was thinking
dressing and all that, because...
You just thinking Atlanta Hawks?
2015.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
But how often is the best team the number 1 seed? Like, is it always the number? Like, sometimes the best teams, like, when we looked at that, the big 3 Miami,
if I'm being honest with you, like, if you look at the history of who wins the NBA Finals, I will tell you, it is the 1 seed. It, like, 78% of the time over the last 40 years is the 1 seed. I looked it up the other day. It's just most of those 1 seeds are like 66 win 1 seeds, 62 win 1 seeds. We might be a 52 win 1 seed. That's the difference.
That's a fair point.
I get what Jonathan's saying though. I like it, especially at least with us. Like, it's been a few years where it was just like even in the bubble year, like early on, a lot of Heat. Like, I felt very confident that team could make it to the finals that year, because the way that we played against Milwaukee, and like they were the best team in the East by record, but like we stomped them out like a few times. So it was just like, all right, cool.
Put that up there for y'all.
Hey, don't do that.
That's facts or no?
I don't give a fuck. He ain't finna get a reaction out of me.
Go ahead. My bad.
Nah, boy, fuck them boys. But nah, you know, like that. I get what you're saying. At least out of the East, it has felt that way. I mean, Golden State was Golden State for the last few years, so like they always seem to be the ones to make it. And then the Lakers had the year, but you know, this Heat team, like Gad was saying, man, Gad was just spitting reasons why we are fraudulent 1 seed, man. Like, in the end of
I didn't say it.
Yes, you did, bro.
No, this is getting lost in translation right now. We can run the tape back. It is right there. I told you what they need to do to play like a fucking 1 seed. I didn't tell you why they're not.
So you said they 2 through 5 got to be better.
No. They have to be involved more. The problem is they keep putting the ball in one player's hand, and that's not how the way this team is going to win. Like Jimmy Butler in an ISO game against KD, Kyrie, Embiid, Harden, Giannis,
Wesley Matthews.
Oh my gosh. You didn't have to go there.
But Gadiel Cartagena, you said that is not the way that they are going to win. Are they going to play like that?
Are they going to play like what?
Are they going to play through Jimmy?
Listen, let me tell you that in the year that they made it.
Yes or no question.
Are they going to play through Jimmy? Yes. Yeah. Is it going to be to this extent? No. Does that mean that everything is going to be all sunshine and rainbows for the offense in the playoffs when they actually get Hero and Bam involved? No. They're still going to be at a talent deficit offensively at the end of games. Like, that's just the reality of the situation. They have to win games with defense, opportunistic turnovers, and shooting.
He just called them fraudulent there. If you know that they're good, you know that they can't win playing like this through Jimmy, and you know they're going to play through Jimmy. What does that mean?
You got to tweak. You got to tweak some things. You can play through Jimmy and still produce.
We have 10 games left. We have 10 games left in the season.
The team been fraudulent since everyone started talking about the path to get there and what side of the bracket you want to be on and what's our best matchup. Real legit contenders say, man, run that shit 4 out of 7, roll the ball out, and we're gonna do what we got to do.
I mean, it is the Big Three Heat. Sorry to cut you off, but like the Big Three Heat never thought about that shit. You know what I mean?
The Big Three Heat had LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and Carlos Arroyo.
And Mario Thomas.
Carlos Arroyo. So
during February, okay.
Thank you, Happy Jack. I just go 24 for the $2 dono. He said Jimmy been pissing me off, and that mid fadeaway. I'm not a fan. Just not even. Thank you, Marlon Bailey, for the $1 dono. That boy got a lot of word for $1 underneath that. He said we had a lot of money tied up in dudes. Bam, Jimmy, and Tucker. They can't shoot. Defense is just pat the paint. Listen, bro, I don't know if I can get through all the word for $1.
That boy trying to finesse out the game.
That's a lot of opinion for $1, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Let me let Brian go ahead and give his opinion. Brian,
I gotta read this whole thing. Shit.
No,
Marlon Bailey. We have a lot of money tied up in dudes. Bam, Jimmy, Tucker. I don't think Tucker's making that much, but that can't shoot. Defense is just pack the paint, pressure here, and watch the others jack up bad shots. I can't. I mean, yeah, that's
okay,
yes, sure. That's what happens. It's not good. That's why we're saying that. You know, there's questions. There's definitely questions. And they're gonna have more money tied up in Tyler, so they don't really have that space, or they're not gonna have that space to bring in another person. But that's a conversation for another day. It's a problem. It's not like any of those guys are gonna suddenly start shooting 40% from 3. So you got to live with it. You got to live with whatever your best offense is down the stretch, and it's gonna be Jimmy hunting for free throws versus Kevin Durant destroying literally anybody you put on him. So it's gonna be fun.
That's true. One of the positives from tonight was Kyle Lowry shot the ball more,
and he did good.
He had a layup.
Yeah,
he had a layup.
It takes him getting in his feelings to shoot.
Hey, the real season started tonight for Kyle.
For sure.
With an L.
Yep.
Hey, y'all, Heat fans, don't let Kyle Lowry fool y'all. He is not one of them.
No, he is not one of them ones. We done got this late into the show, and I haven't thanked Miss Lynette at all. I should be ashamed of myself. So we want to thank the primary sponsor of the 5 Reasons Sports Postgame Show, and that is A Aggressive Insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any insurance needs, please visit Miss Lynette at www.insurancebylynette.com or give her a call at 954-581-8800. Make sure you mention 5 Reasons so that you can get a free vacation voucher. But she's a Heat fan. She rules. She's dope. Let's go. Somebody said Cal should be our coach. We have Spo.
We have Spo, UD, PJ, Deadman, Andy Ellisberg, Pat Riley,
Karan Butler, Octava De La Graja, Chris Quinn,
Brady Hawk. We got it all. There is nothing to worry about from a coaching perspective.
Bonds broke down. We got all that shit. Fuck is you talking about? We don't need that.
Howard, man.
In the pipeline.
Soon. Real soon.
Let's go to the next game, bro. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm getting kind of sleepy. We got the Warriors coming in here on Wednesday.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, hit the like button, bitches.
Without Steph?
Without Steph,
no.
though. Without Steph.
No.
Okay.
Without Steph, they didn't have James Harden or Joel Embiid tonight.
That's what I'm saying. There's no Steph. We lost.
Right. Jordan Poole going for 60. I think that might be my prediction. Let me sleep on that a little bit while I ask you guys. Jonathan Ramakan, the boy feeling good?
The boy feeling good. I think we're going to be fine. Maybe just had a little bit too much rest. Maybe this team needs to play a fucking back-to-back to get a win. I don't know. Yeah, I think they'll get things back better. I think we had a couple of shortcomings tonight, but I think we'll get it good. Boy feeling good.
Spo lying through his fucking teeth. Talk about Tyler being one of our better individuals.
I ain't seen a lot like that since Troy said it wasn't his before he went on Murray.
Troy was the happiest motherfucker on Twitter when they said they was canceling that bitch. That motherfucker is a reoccurring guest on that. It's like you chasing out a volley for the 499. I don't know. He said Kyle always talking crazy to everyone, but won't say shit to Jimmy about his poor shot selection.
Ooh.
Probably because Jimmy gave him that last match.
That's a hard hitting. This is the noise people
beat his ass.
Yo, Jason, bro, you bold, bro. You sound like you belong up here, bro. Like if you gonna say shit like that in public, bro, you gotta take that beating that come with it, bro. I don't know what the fuck going on out here, but Brian, the boy feeling good. Oh, somebody said I didn't read it. I did read it.
No, that was it. Yeah.
Oh,
that was it.
Brian, the boy feeling good.
I mean, I'm gonna lie and say, yeah, I guess. Like Jordan Poole is definitely going for 60. But fuck it. I guess I'm feeling good. We're gonna win by double digits. It's gonna be great. We're all gonna be up on here and be happy and be talking about how the Heat are gonna sweep everybody in the playoffs. So, yeah, sure.
Roy Lugo, boy, don't make me sit these dollars on you, man. Just sit in the comments and be quiet. Threat, the boy feeling good.
The boy feeling good. The Miami the Seattle Super Heat, 1996 will be fine. The Minneapolis Heat will be okay. As long as we're in the regular season, we're fine. I'm not worried about it. 1 seed locked in, stupidly locked in. I can't wait till the playoffs to start, man. Let's get the ball rolling.
Oh my God. Get it, the boy feeling good.
If Steph doesn't play, I'm gonna start stressing, and I don't think he's gonna play. But the Heat, theoretically speaking, they should bounce back. The boy is theoretically feeling good, but doesn't really know how to feel because the Warriors are a damn good defensive team with Draymond Green on the floor. And if we got shut down by Gorgeous Niang, we're gonna be in trouble against Draymond
Gorgeous
Green. Oh my gosh! I'm excited to see what the offense looks like. Maybe I'm a masochist. I don't know, but like, you need to show me something against a good defense, and the Warriors are a damn good defense. I got to see some. You got to make some shake because it can't just be 3 guys. You have to look like a cohesive offense in order to have some you have to build good habits against good teams. And you got Boston, I think on Sunday, or is it next week? Whatever it may be. They're coming up real soon, and that game low key might be for the 1 seed. You got to start getting ready.
That's next Wednesday on the 30th. So
yep, the boy feeling okay.
Kendall, the boy feeling good.
Yeah, because I don't know if Roy Lugo was talking about me, but boy, I'll fire your crimson chin face ass up. Boy. Fuck wrong with you. The boy was feeling good until Gas said we had to make something shake. And then I just started thinking, the way Tyler was looking out there, we already know Duncan don't play no defense. Jordan Poole finna have them boys shaking ass like strippers and tootsies. But I think the boy feeling good because this is the defensive player of the year game award. Whatever team scores less points, not only will lose the game, but either Draymond or Bam will win defensive player of the year since Draymond said, ain't nobody doing what he's doing. But, I think that boy Bam going, send a little message, what I'm saying? Put a little stamp on that DPOY award.
I like that.
I like that too. And for that reason, and many other reasons, the Heat about to blow that shit out. Fuck is y'all talking about? 30, bitch. That's how many we finna win by. I think Bam versus Draymond is a mismatch in Bam's favor. Fuck that little bitch. Fuck is he talking about? Big ass donkey teeth. We're going to win because we need to win. Philadelphia was a very disappointing loss. And I always say this, and sometimes it doesn't always turn out like this, but most of the time it does. I don't like the Heat to lose bad games. Well, they don't seem like they like to lose bad games. They never seem to drop two of them back to back. So a Golden State team without Steph would be a bad loss, in my opinion. So I don't believe they're gonna drop that. Anyway,
I agree now.
Guys.
Blow that shit out. Yes.
Run
culture.
That's right.
Guts.
No ceilings. What other shit Greg be saying? What up, Dub? So thank you guys in the comments as always for joining us, making the show much more fun than it would have been without you. Thank you to my man Jonathan Ramadan, Gadiel Cartagena, all three of these kings on here, my man Kendall, Threat, and Brian. We'll see you guys. What day is that? On Wednesday. Wednesday. Okay. Play the video, Jonathan.
Jimmy Buckets! Clutch time!
Tyler Hero, what a finisher he's becoming.
Lane, Oladipo, Hall. That's right. You better mean mug after you dunk on somebody that way.